Hey guys, good afternoon.
Sarah Vaccaro here, and I wanted to chat with you today about the unhealthy and toxic person, the person who picks up the check, and how we fall for this person who picks up the check. So this was my ex. Um, I fell for him hard in the beginning, obviously because of tons and tons of love bombing, and I had just gotten out of a marriage and didn't feel like I received any kind of love. So this love bombing completely swept me off, totally caught me off guard. And I quickly engaged in a relationship with someone who is very, very quick to pick up the check. He would take us out to nice dinners. We would have bottles of wine. When I get off of work, he'd have 24 dozen roses. He'd have chocolates. He'd have all kinds of extravagant dinners like ready and waiting for me. He was constantly buying me gifts. He, very, very, very quickly wanted me to move in. He even offered to and ended up buying me a dog because my ex-husband had kept our dogs and he knew that that was like very close to me. So he offered to buy me a dog if I were to move in. It was kind of this bargaining tool. He was taking me on vacations like every other weekend. We lived in Utah at the time and he was flying us to California, to San Diego, to San Francisco. We went to Puerto Rico all within 6 months, putting us up in like very nice hotels up to like $500 a night and spending whatever amount of money on anything. Turns out all of that was a lie. He didn't even have the money, but he sure made it seem like he did, and he was spending it on me because I was worth it. He would also take my family on vacation and pay for everything. So all of this is love bombing. I've done a video before on love bombing. All of this is a form of manipulation, power, and control. So he was setting up the stage for me because I thought I would be taken care of. He was this Prince Charming that strolled in on this white night, and I just thought, oh my God, finally, like here's this man who's able to give me this life that I am telling him that I want. I wanted to get married. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted all of these things. And he was showing me that through him, that was available to him. But that is love bombing. He was showing me that I didn't have to worry about money. Like we could get married, we could have kids, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And all of that was, again, a form of power, control, and manipulation. What actually ended up happening is that he had a job with the company, and all of these dinners and trips that he was paying for, he was actually using a company credit card. And that company found out about that and told him in meeting, hey, you can't be taking your girlfriend on all these trips. So they seized all of his accounts. They froze everything. He is in a business where he had some of the materials for work at home. He actually had to return all the stuff at work, and all of his personal accounts they froze. They were doing a big investigation on him essentially, and but the story was that he quit. He quit because he was too good for that position. They didn't appreciate him. And so he went on to start his own company, which he made me feel bad for because he no longer had the funds to start his own company. So I, was in love and gave him my credit card. And I said, here you go. I trust you to repay this. I support you and starting your own company. I believe in you. And over time, well, actually, within 2 months, he racked up over $8,000 on this credit card. Was using it the same way that he was using that company's credit card. Like there was just no responsibility to repay that money, lied endlessly about having to repay any of that money. And every month that came and went, I would say, hey, you said this deal was going to go through and you were going to repay this credit card. And he'd say, oh, yeah, about that. Let's just do the minimum payment this month. And then I'll pay it off next month, like after that check comes through for this deal. Okay, no checks ever came through for any deal, like years later. And the minimum payment was like $50 a month. So when you're talking $10,000 that you owe on a credit card, a minimum payment, I don't know if you guys ever check your statements, it takes like 15 years to pay that off. So Guys, know that if you are in a relationship with a unhealthy and very toxic person, they will use money as a way to manipulate, as a way to have power and control. And they will use all the things that you say you want to present as they are available and going to give you those things. So the phrase "we fall for the person who picks up the check" is so true, because he always picked up the check. In my family, they even thought, wow, this is a great guy. Where did he get all this money from? But I don't know. We were having a good time. We were enjoying him constantly picking up the check. So later on, there were bills that were not paid, cars, vehicles that he had used me as a resource on, or a reference. I was getting calls saying that the payments were not being made, payments stopped being made on both the cars, the house, cable, you name it, the phone, everything. So don't fall for this. Hyper generous in the beginning is a giant red flag. So if you are with someone or have been in a relationship with someone who's very unhealthy, very toxic, and they are seemingly like so generous with their money and giving you this life that you want, it's all manipulation, power, control. Don't fall for it. Thank you guys for watching. If you do find that this is you and you're in an unhealthy, toxic relationship, I do specialize in helping women specifically break free from that, learn to love their lives again after leaving those types of relationships. And I would love to set up a 15-minute call and chat with you. I will leave a link to do so to connect with you in the comments below. Thank you all.